What's up, friends? I'm traveling the country for 3 weeks, and the only stop I've planned in advance is this one. So come with me while I figure it out on the fly, and let's see where I end up. I've stopped for lunch at this beautiful rest stop here. I left from home yesterday, and I did just under 400 miles. It's my goal to do about 450 miles a day. And when this trip is over, I'll have looped the entire country. Oh my goodness. I have to hold my microphone because it's so quiet here. I don't want to shout in the forest. Listen to how quiet it is. There's nobody else here. Right as I sat down for tea, it started raining. This is a good night. My goodness, what a beautiful morning. I don't think I can express how much I needed this. I've been trapped in the city for too long. The second I got off the highway and turned down a forested road that was tree-lined with wild turkeys running through the forest, I felt my neck and the muscles in my shoulders just immediately relax. Being out here in this forest and having it all to myself is pretty special, but just being in the trees and listening to the bird song, I feel like my lungs fill deeper. I feel like I can breathe better out here. There's just something out here that it fills me up. So this particular campsite was only $15. So 30 miles out here and 30 miles back adds 60 miles to my itinerary, but I feel like it was absolutely worth it. First of all, this is gorgeous. For 15 bucks, yeah, it's only got a pit toilet and a fire pit and a picnic table, but $15, and I slept so peacefully last night. It rained all night. I made the mistake of leaving my kitchen window open all night in the Scamp, and a trickle of water was coming in the kitchen window and rolled down the counter and collected on the corner of the sheets in the bed. So those are drying out right now. It's kind of a hot mess. So lesson learned, don't even leave the kitchen window open when it's raining. But it just sounded so beautiful, and I slept so peacefully. The rain just lulled me right to sleep. Night 2, wild success. I don't think I'm going to be staying at rest stops anymore if I can help it. I think I'm getting too old for that. This is the kind of stuff that fills me up. This is what I want. So even if it means if I have to drive a little further out of the way or pay a little bit of money, I'm totally okay with that. I wouldn't even sleep this good in a hotel. I'm gonna try to do about 600 miles today, just so the last day when I'm rolling into my destination, I don't have to drive 450 miles and then set up camp all exhausted and potentially be doing it after dark. So I'm gonna try to knock off some of the last day's miles today if I can get my ass in gear and get myself out of this beautiful spot, which honestly is gonna be the hardest part. Oh boy, that was a lot of driving. I made up some of the miles that I didn't get to in my last couple of days. So in 3 days of driving, I've done about 1,250 miles out of the 2,500. So I was able to find another quiet place to camp, but I arrived here after dark, so I'll have to show it to you in the morning. For now, I'm going to make myself an easy dinner and have a drink and try to find my headphones that I misplaced so I can listen to my murder podcast without freaking out my campsite neighbors. Good morning. I lucked into another beautiful and peaceful campsite last night. I paid a little more than I like to for this campsite because it does have a lot of amenities. It has electrical hookups. I didn't bother hooking up because I don't really need to, but it also has showers. So I was willing to pay a little extra for showers. It was really easy to book after hours. You could just go to the website. There's reception here. So easy stop. If you're wondering how I'm finding all these places, I did make a whole video on the systems I use to find free and cheap campsites, so I'm still using the same system. So if you're curious, you can head on over to that video after this one and check that out. It gives away all my secrets to how I pull this stuff off, where I don't plan my stops and just find places on the fly as I go. But I was lucky enough to catch the sunrise over the lake this morning. There were deer wandering right through my campsite. I'm having my coffee amidst the trees again, which I love. There's just something special about how peaceful a campground is in the morning. When you wake up early and no one else is awake yet but the animals, there's just something so magic about that. So I'm gonna finish my coffee, make some breakfast, get myself a shower, and I'm gonna get back to it. I've got 1,368 miles left to do. I'm supposed to check into my campsite reservation on Sunday, and it is Friday, so I've got all today, all tomorrow, and then a portion of Sunday to knock out 1,368 miles. I better get to it. Well, it might not have been the nicest camp shower I've ever had, but I sure am grateful to get one. This would have been the 4th day without a shower, so I'm grateful for any running water I can get at this point. But before I go, I want to cover some tips and tricks that make life on a long road trip like this one a lot easier. Starting with the night before I roll into a campsite, something I always like to do is no matter how much gas I have in the tow vehicle, I always stop and get gas on my way into the campground. That way, the next day on the road, I can go as long as I want to without having to stop immediately for gas. It sets me up for success the next day, and I just find it makes the whole process a lot smoother. Then, before I leave, I like to do a little bit of light cleaning and just leave any of the earth matter that I might have collected from the campsite here where it belongs. That's one of the reasons I carry this tiny broom and dustpan that I've attached to the wall with some command strips, and these are just picture hanging strips that I can attach to the wall so this doesn't swing around when I'm driving. It sticks right there and it keeps it from sliding and scratching up the fiberglass. But then I like to give my floor a good sweep. This just means that when I roll into a campsite tonight after being tired and road weary, I don't have a mess to come into in my trailer. I come inside and there isn't dirt that I'm going to track into the bed, and that really helps diminish my stress and anxiety coming into a clean trailer at the end of the night. For the same reason I like to make the bed, so when I crawl into bed at the end of a long day, it just isn't like visually noisy or stressful. It just definitely helps my mental state when I don't have a lot of noise or chaos at the end of a long day of driving. The last thing I do before I hit the road is just take a quick look around the campsite, make sure that there isn't anything that I left behind or that I'm forgetting. And I can also walk around and find micro trash that is inevitably left behind. I always like to leave a place better than I find it. And if you look for it, you'll see that there's a lot of trash everywhere we go. Humans are kind of terrible about picking up after themselves. So little nice thing I can do to say thank you for the stay. Then I like to make a lap around the trailer, just make sure I'm not forgetting any wheel chocks or leveling blocks, and just take a look at anything I might have left, like my towel that's hanging out to dry. Don't want to drive with that, so I can grab my shower towel, make a loop around the vehicle, make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Then I can hit the road. I also like to grab myself a few snacks, so I have some road food. I don't have to pull over to get my snacks for the day. Oh my God, look at all the dead birds. The horror. The horror. Stopping to pee in a red state that is not known for being kind to queers, so gotta strap up just to use the public restroom because that's what things have come to. I got lucky this time. Got a couple of dirty looks, but nobody tried to say anything, so best case scenario, onward. Life is strange, so how is strange to the day. I didn't film anything last night because it got a little chaotic. I decided to, instead of finding a nice campground to stay at, just to crush a bunch of miles so I could do stuff like this today. I'd stop for fry bread and check out some of the indigenous wares while I'm here because I'll never pass up a chance to get fry bread. So delicious. But I spent the night sleeping in a casino overflow lot, so nothing exciting to show you there. I'm only 600 miles from my destination and I've got 2 days to do it. So today I get to take it a little bit easier and maybe find a cool spot to stay since I've got the extra time. So thanks to last night's hard slog and many, many miles, I get to have a better day today. So let's go check out the store. Oh, that's tempting. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Look at that amethyst.
That has copper in it. Yeah, and I had that. I was learning this. Wow.
Oh my gosh. That's dope. That was a worthwhile stop. It's actually my 5-year anniversary and I found the perfect gift for my wife. So I'm glad I had time to stop today. It was definitely worth it to do the hard miles yesterday so I could have a little more fun today, but time to get back at it. Onward. Looks like I'm gonna get some heavy rain, maybe even some hail. Monsoon season is technically over, but there was a pretty big hailstorm here yesterday, so we're gonna see what I get into. And we're done. It's only 2:30 and I really don't need to do any more miles today, so I did a little digging and found a free campsite that looks pretty epic. It's parallel to my route, so it's not really out of the way. I just have to skirt off the main highway, but I'll be paralleling the main highway, and then the path that'll just lead me right back to the highway I need to be on tomorrow. All that extra driving yesterday and that crummy night's sleep at the casino parking lot seems to have been worth it, because I think I'm going to be able to spend a really relaxing evening in a very chill, quiet place. Fingers crossed it's as awesome as it looks, but either way, it's going to be quiet and I'll probably have it to myself, but we'll see. So apparently you drive down this dirt road and then it's down out there over by that mountain. So well, it could be a little rough on the Scamp, but let's see what happens. It's a bit rutted. Just gonna take it nice and slow. Don't want to high side on anything here and like scrape my water pump off the bottom of the Scamp. Easy does it. Sure is beautiful though. There's at least one other person camping out here. Full generator going. Well, I made it in here this far, but the road is getting pretty rutted out. I didn't want to go any further. This might be my last chance to turn around if it gets this gnarly. It has been raining quite a bit, so I'm gonna walk up here a ways, see if there's anything interesting up here that's worth driving down this rutted road for, but I think I might just stay there for the night. It's getting kind of sketch. But wow, talk about that desert scenery. My goodness. It's a little hard to show you the shape this road is in, but that's pretty sketch for the Scamp. Like, my truck could do it, no problem, but I don't think I want to drag the Scamp over this. I don't want to get stuck out here. I do have recovery tracks, but that's not how I want my day to go. So I might just walk down a little further just to stretch my legs and check out the scenery, but I think I'll probably stay there for the night. It's free and it's gorgeous, and I have everything I need. I have this beautiful view. Yeah, the road is getting steeper and narrower up that way. I don't think there's any camping up there. I think I'm gonna call it and stay put where I am. Can't really argue with a free spot for the night. I might just turn around now in case it rains a bunch because the ground is a little iffy. So maybe if I turn around now while it's dry, in case it rains, I don't get stuck in the mud tomorrow. There's not a lot of room to turn around either, and this is a little sketch. These little trailers are not meant to go off-roading too intensely, so we made it out here. I just don't want to get stuck. Hopefully this doesn't get interesting. See how bad the leveling is. Honestly, it's not that bad. I could live with that. Got my own junipers. Does look like more rain. I think I might go on a walkabout before it starts raining. I've been driving for so long. I almost passed because I drove past this and the gate was closed. I thought maybe it was closed for the season or something, but something in me told me to turn around and just check, and sure enough, all you have to do is open the little chain and close it behind you, and as long as you pick up after yourself and you're respectful of the land, you can camp here for free. What a time to be alive. The desert is so peaceful. I might just howl at the moon tonight. You all know my serious side when I'm like in teacher mode and talking about things all seriously, but might get a glimpse of my actual personality in this video. Do we have a vertebrae? Or a teeny tiny pelvis? Wow. There's the vertebrae. Look at that spinous process. My God. Somebody likes to eat here. That's a little unnerving. Yum. Somebody had ribs. Looks like there's another cell moving in. Whew. Well, it's a chilly and stormy night here in the desert. I'm loving it out here. I think you can probably guess at this point that I'm heading to California, and you can probably tell that I'm in Arizona. This is an epic BLM spot. I'm just off Route 66, so I can hear the cars going by on Route 66. It's not like the most dispersed or the most peaceful, but it's free and it's gorgeous, and I'm having a great time. very happy to be here. This is my last campsite before I make it to my destination tomorrow in California. I have less than 400 miles to do tomorrow. I grew up in Southern California. I spent most of my life there, so there's a lot of people there that I love. I'll be surfing some of my favorite breaks and hanging out with some of my favorite people, and I can practically smell the ocean from here. I'm so excited about it. I'm not very good at this day in the life stuff. Hopefully this style of video isn't too boring for those of you who like my more technical videos, but I'm having a great time and I want to share it with you. You see how much love and care I put into my Scamp, you might as well see me enjoying it too, right? If you're into this kind of thing, let me know. If not, sorry that I'm veering from my normal how-tos, but this, oh my God, the lightning. It's crazy. Ugh. This is why I care for my Scamp, so I can do stuff like this, right? I'm just not really much of a vlogger, so you'll have to bear with me in that aspect. Sure, I'm glad I turned around when I did. Damn. Hope I don't get stuck in this mud. That last wash was really close. I was slipping and sliding, but I think I'm gonna make it out of here. I'm so glad my truck has variable four-wheel drive right now. That was a little bit close, I'm not gonna lie. All right, back to logging miles. I only have 350 left. Woohoo! I'm almost there. I'll make it today if all things go according to plan. Looking like I just made it out before more rain too. Within minutes too. Woo, that was lucky. Yes, this smoggy concrete wasteland full of Teslas feels like home. There are some things I miss about California, and there are some things I don't. I made it. Hey, finally. Roughing it. Good morning, everybody. I arrived at my destination last night. I dropped the trailer off and then immediately went out to a seafood dinner with my sister because I love her dearly and it's one of my highest priorities while I'm here to spend as much time with her as I can. So with that in mind, I set up my campsite really quickly this morning and I'm gonna go meet my sis and a dear friend of mine, and we're gonna rent some kayaks and paddle the back bay. Money, 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 must be funny in a rich man's world. Yeah. Hi, random beach dog.
Can you see what his tag says?
Where'd you come from? Where are you going? Just came here to go potty?
Yep.
Oh, 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 oh. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful day. Oh, my heart is so full. I love those girls so much. That did my soul so much good. But before I head back to the campsite, I need a new wetsuit. My wetsuit is hanging on by a thread. But luckily, since this is my hometown, I know where I can get a good deal on one. This is what every girl wants after eating tacos. Yeah. That was a good time. It was a real good time. I have such incredible women in my life. It's just a shame they're all scattered so far across the country. Okay, so tomorrow's game plan. Gonna get up early, hit the surf. Apparently it was pretty good today and I missed it. Chose to paddle a kayak instead. But if the surf is too big, I won't be able to film much of it because I don't want to be worrying about a camera and also not dying. But I don't know how many people are here to see mediocre surf footage anyway, so if I don't have a lot to show you tomorrow, it's probably because I'm surfing my face off. This is what surfers call dawn patrol. Well, I made it out here for dawn patrol. Sun's just about to come up. I'm gonna hurry up and get out there before the whole neighborhood shows up. Hey. Oh my gosh, you guys, that sunrise was insane. I wish I would have brought a camera out there with me, but it's a little rough. I didn't want to risk losing my equipment. I'm a little rusty anyway, so I probably missed more waves than I caught. But don't worry, there'll be plenty of opportunities for surf footage while I'm here. I'm gonna be here for a whole week. Leaving you. There we go.
The trick is to not get excited. You have to just.
I'm sorry. Back at it. Catch some more waves. Gonna take y'all with me this time. All right, I'm heading to another beach this morning. The surf is kind of dissipating, so I'm going to head over to what I call Beginner Beach to surf with my sister again. She hasn't surfed in a long time, and the surf where I am is a little bit rough, so I'm going to head over somewhere a little smaller and gentler, so maybe I'll get some footage of her surfing if it's not too flat. We'll see what we get. Well, I'm sad to say the surf has gotten really dismal. It was high tide this morning, which makes the waves slow and hard to catch, and the wind got to it. So the forecast for tomorrow is the same. So instead of spending another night in this hot parking lot, I'm gonna actually leave early to go visit my parents. They aren't far from here. They're about 6 hours, and they're kind of on the way to Durango, Colorado, which is one of my favorite places to boondock. So instead of spending my last night here and getting crummy surf again tomorrow, I'm gonna leave early. I'm out. I cannot leave California without some of this. I'm about 100 miles from my parents' place. I'm super grateful for the extra time to go see them. We live on opposite ends of the country, so it's nice to be able to squeeze them in. And honestly, there's no better hotel to stay in on the way home than at my parents' house, and you're gonna see why. What's up, family? Hey, you wanna be in my YouTube video? Well, I had a really amazing night at my parents' house. I got such a good night's sleep in that clean king-size bed. It's not filled with sand like my Scamp bed is. It was nice to be out of the Scamp for a night. I got a great night's sleep at my parents' house, and I have about 8.5-hour drive to get where I want to go, but if I make it there, you're gonna see why I'm gonna push so hard today. It's one of my favorite places in the whole country, so hopefully all goes well and I get to make it there and see this place again, because I have not stopped thinking about it since I saw it the first time, so wish me luck. I've been driving for about 8 hours. I have another hour to go, and I'm kind of racing daylight. I'm trying to find a boondocking spot in like a very rugged area before dark, so I might not make it to the exact area I'm shooting for if it gets too dark, but just crossing my fingers I can find a really good spot before the sun totally sets. Okay, I'm officially off the paved road. I still got a little bit of daylight. I just might pull this off. Well, I made it here after dark per usual. Can't really show you how amazing this spot is, but I'm gonna get all tucked in, make myself some warm soup because it is suddenly very cold where I am, and I will show you this incredible place tomorrow morning. I will see you then. Well, good morning from Colorado. I'm in the San Juan National Forest, and right now I'm just drinking my coffee inside this camp because it got down to 26 degrees here last night. The campground I rolled into is just under 10,000 feet of elevation. I want to say it's 9,830 something, so just under 10K in elevation. So it got really cold last night. So I'm warming up with my coffee this morning. There's frost covering everything out there. I'm gonna let it warm up a little bit before I go outside and show you why I bothered to drive all the way up a mountainside to this campsite. The campground is beautiful. It doesn't have hookups, it just has pit toilets, but the campground isn't the only reason I came here. This spot is super duper special to me, and it's because this campground hides access to one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in the United States. I stayed toasty warm last night because I packed all kinds of extra blankets and layers, and I set my heater to 40 degrees so I wouldn't drain the battery, but it would keep the pipes in the Scamp warm because I haven't winterized the Scamp yet. So I stayed toasty warm all night, and this is why I packed for all seasons. If you saw my packing video, I packed for all kinds of weather, and this is why. It's gonna get up to about 50 today, and I am not acclimated at all to get up to the thing I want to show you, but I gotta try. It's a really special spot to me, and if I can make it up there and show you, you're gonna completely understand why. It's dawn when you are done. All right, let's hike. We'll see if I can make it where I want to go. Ooh. Right off the bat, I can tell I'm not acclimated. This is gonna be tough. The thing I remember about this the most is how straight up and down the whole trail was. For reference, if you want to know why I'm out of breath, is again, I started at 10,000 feet. I didn't acclimate, and I've climbed 175 feet in less than half a mile. This hike is just as strenuous, but just as gorgeous as I remember. I am 45 minutes in. I've climbed 640 feet in 1.4 miles. She's tough. I'll never understand how they got stuff like this up here. Oh God, I just love a meadow with a creek in it. Ugh, so gorgeous. So the trail goes up. There's a couple of girls up there you can see if you look real close. Up this big old granite face. Last big push. It's gonna be worth it. My legs have turned to jello. I don't even care. This is the trail. Time to billy goat it. What? Are you kidding me, Colorado? Stop it. Oh, I recognize this. I am almost there. Woo! Now, you might be thinking, Backcountry Dirtbag, why would you torture your two bad knees? Hike a hike that's so strenuous you feel like both your ankles are sprained, and torture yourself at such high elevation. Well, let me show you. That's why. There wasn't snow up there last time I was here, but it was a lot greener. And those of you who've been with me for a while, you might recognize this spot from one of my other videos. This is where I got engaged. Ah! Oh man, what a treat to be back here. This is so special. Not quite at the bottom, but I'm almost there. This hike is as hard as I remember it being. Honestly, it might be a little harder this time because I'm not floating down the trail to the bottom, just riding the unadulterated jubilation of knowing that I was going to marry the love of my life. Which I have now. Life is so good. Wow. I mean, what an incredible way to spend my extra day. I do not regret sacrificing another mediocre surf session to come back to this place that I hold so dear to my heart. I think I'm going to turn in and rest my body, and then tomorrow morning I'm just going to hitch up and I'm going to beeline it home as fast as I can. So this is probably the best place to end this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, supporting the tip jar. You all mean so much to me. I couldn't do this without you. So until next time, happy scamping.